Hi guys, now let's continue our discussion about lymphoid organs. Episode 12, lymphatic tissues and organs. 2. Now, in the previous exercise pinag-usapan natin is yung mga dense unencapsulated lymphoid tissues. Kung mapapansin nyo, they are embedded with other organs. They are not organs themselves. Okay? Now, pag-uusapan natin ngayon is yung mga organs, yung mga lymphoid organs, lymphatic tissues na encapsulated. Okay? May mga capsules. So they are a separate organs themselves. Okay? Starting off with the lymph nodes. Okay? Lymph nodes are of course the primary example of a encapsulated lymphoid tissue. Okay? So may makikita talaga tayong capsule. Now let's look at this photomicrograph or section ng isang lymph node. Hindi nga pala siya photomicrograph kasi isa siya mismong tissue sample. Okay. Now this is a lymph node. Makikita natin na meron siyang capsule made up of dense white fibrous connective tissue, DW, FCT. Hopefully makita nyo siya sa yon. Palit na ng lighting ang aking computer. So that is the capsule. It is made up of dense white fibrous connective tissue. Sometimes their branches, those fibers enters or inserts into the parenchyma of the organ itself. So you can see here, may nakikita tayong parenchyma na capsule or parts ng capsule na pumapasok. Kagaya nito, so nasa loob na siya, kaya na-section siya. So yan yung mga trabecula. Trabecula or part ng stroma ng lymph organ. Okay? So may makikita tayong mga ganyan. Trabeculae in the tissue of a lymph node. Now, again, it is a parenchymatous tissue. So isang parenchymatous tissue, commonly ma-appreciate natin kung may separation or distinct layers ang kanyang parenchyma, pwede natin siyang hatiin into a cortex and a medulla. So yung cortex, outer cortex, and an inner medulla. Anong makikita natin? Sa cortex, dyan natin makikita ang mga lymphatic nodules such as those lymphatic nodules. Kung maalala niyo yung mga Peyer's patches, they resemble Peyer's patches. Okay? Because they are lymph tissues. Okay? These lymphatic nodules, ma-appreciate natin na meron siyang pale center and a darker corona or mantle layer. Okay, yung center ang tawag natin dyan mga germinal centers. Okay, so pale ang kanyang kulay, whereas yung mga narito sa gilid, yung nasa periphery, yung nasa mantle layer, they appear darker because there are denser number of cells doon sa periphery versus that doon sa germinal center. Tingnan natin ang isang lymphatic nodule under LPO. Under HPO. Okay? So, ito yung germinal center. As you can see, less ang population ng cells sa germinal center versus that of the periphery, which is the the mantle or the coronal layer. Ito. So, this is the germinal layer. This is the mantle layer. Okay? So, yan ang ating makikita ang mga lymphatic nodules na interspersed within the cortex of the organ. Okay? Punta naman tayo sa medulla. Anong ating makikita sa medulla? So, this is the medulla of the lymph nodes. May makikita tayong aggregation ng lymphoid cells or lymphoid tissues. Those are the medullary cords. Medullary cords. Makikita natin yung accumulation ng lymphoid tissues na nasa kanyang medulla. Okay? So commonly, medulla, of course, is makikita sa gitna. Okay? Now, that is not true to all animals kasi may lymph nodes ng medulla or yung mga medullary cords at yung cortex ay baliktad. That is true for the pigs. This is a pig's lymph node. Okay? So we can still see some trabecula, but yung cortex na merong mga germinal centers, lymphatic nodules, ay nasa gitna. Whereas, yung medullary cords, yan yun, itong mga yan yun. Sorry, kasi hindi lamang hindi ganun kakulay ang medullary cords kasi parang hindi dumikit si hematoxylin dito sa section na to. Mas maganda sana kung blue kasi parang iusin lamang ang tinukap ng stem. So medyo panis na siguro yung kanilang hematoxylin. Pero yung medullary cords, yung accumulation ng lymphoid tissues nasa gilid. No. Whereas yung cortex nasa loob. Then we can still see some trabeculae containing sinuses. Okay? Yung trabeculae nga niya pumapasok dito sa loob. Okay? Which would have the blood vessels. These are blood vessels and lymph vessels supplying this lymph node. Okay, so this is true for the pigs, lymph nodes of the pigs. There is another type of lymph node, which is a combination which contains blood vessels themselves sa kanilang mga sinuses. This is a hemolymph node. So as you can see, yung itsura niya kaparehas lamang ng lymph nodes. Pero, meron siyang mga sinuses na naglalaman ng RBCs. Okay? So this is a lymph node coming from a sheep. Hanapin ko lang yung kitang-kita na may groups ng RBCs sa kanyang sinuses. Ito. Difference ng sections. Okay. So we can see here, this is made up of lymphoid tissue. May mga lymphoid cells dyan. Whereas here, interspersed din siya, nag-filter din siya ng blood. Okay? Yung nakikita natin nuclei with nuclei, those are of course white blood cells. Yung mga nakikita nating cells na walang nuclei, those are RBCs. Okay? So this is a hemolymph node. A hemolymph node combination ng white blood ng lymph node at saka ng isang hemal node. Imbes na lymph vessels ang nagsusupply sa kanya, blood vessels. Here, kung titingnan natin siya grossly, they appear kasi yung lymph node, yung normal na lymph node, kung titingnan natin siya grossly, it appears gray, okay, when it is preserved. Yung hemal node, they look like darker, even darker than the kidneys. Okay? Yung hemolymph node nasa gitna nila. Dalawa, brownish, light brownish ang kulay ng isang hemolymph node. These are usually seen sa mga ruminants. Ang mga hemolymph nodes. Okay? Now, let's move on to another lymphoid organ, the spleen. Okay, this is another lymphoid organ. Of course, it is encapsulated. As you can see, that is the capsule. Nakakavera niya yung periphery ng organ, diba? It is encapsulated. And just like that of the lymph nodes, yung branches ng capsule, they embed themselves towards the parenchyma of the organ, creating trabeculae in its parenchyma. Now, those trabeculae, may makikita tayong mga sinuses. Sinuses for red blood cells. Tingnan natin ang laman ng isang sinus. Baka hindi kayo maniwala sa akin na red blood cells yun. Under HPO. Right. So those are red blood cells inside the sinuses of the spleen. Okay, so tingnan nyo yung kanyang trabeculae. They are of course made up of DWFCT. We've got fibrocytes, which are interspersed with the meat of the DWFCT, making up the trabecula of the organ. Now, the parenchyma itself of the spleen, we can classify into two according to their functions. Okay, kasi definitely not according to their color sa section. Okay, so may tinatawag tayong white pulp, meron tayong tinatawag na red pulp. Para madali lang, white pulp, isipin nyo lamang white blood cells. White blood cells are of course lymphoid tissues. So yung red pulp, red blood cells. Okay, so yung magsimula muna tayo sa white pulp. White pulp, of course, dyan natin makita yung mga lymphoid tissues. Diba? Kagaya lamang din ng ating mga nakikitang lymph nodules. Okay? Lymphoid corpuscles. Yan ang itsura niya. Okay? May nakikita tayong germinal center, merong mas darker na mantle layer. But, kung titingnan natin siya, may makikita tayong small blood vessel off center, ibig sabihin wala sa gitna, off center noong lymphoid nodules. Now, dahil wala siya sa lymph node, ang tawag natin sa kanya is splenic nodules or splenic corpuscles. Those splenic corpuscles, may makikita tayo under HPO. May makikita tayong arteriole. That is an arteriole. Bakit hindi venule? Ang venule, nagpo-collapse yun. Slightly slip ang itsura niya. Pero siya bilog. Okay? That is an arteriole. Tingnan natin siya again under so that is an arteriole. Okay, that is splenic arteriole. Makikita siya sa splenic corpuscles. Okay, punta naman tayo sa red pulp. Red pulp, siya yung part ng parenchyma. Ang pinoprocess naman niya ay mga red blood cells. Diba? Ang spleen, also known as the graveyard of red blood cells. So, nag-filter siya ng matatandang RBCs, tinatanggal, sinesequester, nire-recycle. Especially yung mineral part ng RBCs. Now, tingnan natin yung red pulp. May itsura ng red pulp. So, para lamang magkaroon tayo ng Basehan, this is a white pulp and this is a red pulp. That is under LPO. Punta tayo under HPO. Okay, this is under HPO. As you can see, there are RBCs na pinifilter within the red pulp. Okay, may nakikita tayong pinkish fibers interspersed among those cells. Those are smooth muscle cells. Okay, which functions para pigain yung tissue ng spleen para dumaan yung mga red blood cells. Now, according to the function of the spleen, pwede pa rin natin siya hatiin or i-classify into two types, defensive type at saka storage type. Defensive type, mas marami siyang white pulp. Storage type, mas marami siyang red pulp. Kasi ginagawa ng red pulp, pwede natin siyang isiping sponge. Sponge na maraming RBCs. Bukod sa mga pinifilter niya yung matatandang RBCs, pwede siyang maging storage kasi para saan yung storage ng RBCs? Kung sakali magkakaroon ng hemorrhage ang animal, pwede siyang additional storage space ng red blood cells. So, ibig sabihin, kapag bumababa na ang blood pressure, pwedeng mag-squeeze yung mga spleen para ilabas yung kanyang tinatagong mga red blood cells. Kaya interspersed on the red pulp ay mga smooth muscle cells. Okay? Now, tingnan natin tong section na to again in scanner. Identify natin siya kung siya ay defensive type or a storage type. Okay? So, as you can see, white pulp, white pulp, white pulp, white pulp, white pulp, white pulp. Almost all of them is white pulp. Okay, kakaunti yung kanyang red pulp. So this is a defensive type. This is true for humans. Tingnan natin ang isang medyo storage type. Kasi wala akong spleen. Wala tayong spleen ng aso. Okay? So ang storage type ay sa aso, sa pusa, at saka sa horses. Kaya nga tingnan nyo yung specimen natin sa anatomy, ang laki-laki ng kanyang spleen. So, definitely hindi siya namatay dahil sa hemorrhage kasi hindi nag-squeeze out yung mga blood na nasa kanyang spleen. Now, tingnan natin itong spleen na nasa section natin, nasa microscope natin. White pulp, white pulp, white pulp. All of them are red pulp. Okay? Most likely this is a pig instead of a horse kasi may nakikita pa tayong mga white pulp. Okay? So also, mapapansin natin, walang laman yung kanyang mga sinuses. Ang dami niyang trabeculae. Diba? So most likely, itong animal na to namatay due to or nag-exsanguinate ang katawan ng animal. Nawala ang kanyang blood. So most likely this is pig. Diba? Ito lamang ang sinus na nakita ko na merong red blood cells. Most likely that is a pig. So that is a combination of a storage type and a defensive type. Kasi when the animal is in hemorrhage, squeeze out yung spleen para lalabas yung kanyang tinatago pang mga blood. Okay? Now, let's move on to another lymphoid tissue. The thymus. Tayo lang mga bata ang meron nito. Okay? Now, this is a thymus. Tingnan natin siya. Anong mapapansin nyo? It is highly lobulated. May mga lobes, may mga lobules. Diba? That is a lobe of a thymus. Of course, it is still encapsulated. May nakikita ang faint outline ng kanyang capsule. But instead of DWFCT, ang kanyang capsule ay loose connective tissue. Okay? Now, mag-focus tayo sa isang lobule. This one. A thymic lobule. Just like that of other nodules, lymphatic nodules, again, pale ang nakikita natin sa center, yung kanyang germinal center, it is pale and with a darker mantle layer due to younger cells na nasa gilid and of course sa density ng cells. So mas mag-stain, mas maraming stain ang itutok up ng layers na yun. Tingnan natin sa germinal layer, it is light. Okay? Punta tayo sa LPO. Okay, as you can see, mas maraming cells dito. Pero bakit may napapansin tayo mga cells na hindi na nagte-take up ng stain na nasa gitna? Alright, so this one. So these structures are known as Hassel's corpuscles. Hassel's corpuscles. Okay? So these are layers of lymphocytes that are degenerating. Yung mga nasa gitna nitong Hassel's corpuscles, sila yung pinakamatanda, sila yung mas nagde-degenerate. And habang pumupunta tayo sa periphery niya, mas nakikita natin mas bata yung cells. Tingnan nyo to, cell na yan, halos hindi na siya nagte-take up ng stain, di natin ma-appreciate ang kanyang nucleus, pycnotic na ang kanyang nucleus, ibig sabihin papunta na siya sa degeneration. Okay? Kasi actually, a thymus is a temporary organ. So habang tumatanda siya, nagde-degenerate siya. Magiging vestige, may invade siya ng fat cells na adipose tissue. Okay? So as you can see here, this is a Hassel corpuscle. Patay na yung mga tissues dyan, patay na yung mga cells dyan, kaya hindi na siya nagte-take up na stain. Okay? Now, tingnan natin yung makikita natin sa ibang lobules. As you can see, the different lobules is under different stages of degeneration. Here, mas degenerated na itong tissues na dito kumpara dito sa lobules na to. Okay? So the tissues is undergoing degeneration. Again, dead tissues, hindi sila magte-take up ng stain. Okay? Tingnan natin tong mga nasa periphery. Ganun din. In different stages of degeneration. Okay? They have served their function, ang thymus na ito. Okay? Moving on to another specialized lymphoid organ, which is only seen in aliens, the bursa of Fabricius. The bursa of Fabricius is a bilobed organ with a lot of folds. Yung folds na nakikita ay pwede siyang magsilbi as the lobes of the organ itself. This is a fold of the organ. Meron siyang capsule dito sa gilid. And as you can see, each fold is being lined by an epithelia. I-identify natin kung anong epithelia yon. Punta tayo under LPO. Again, this is just an artifact. Huwag nyo nang hanapin yung artifact na yan. Basta alam nyo lang na artifact na yan. Baka yan pa inyong drawing. Again, huwag kayo mag-focus sa mali. Mag-focus kayo sa tama. Diba? Parang mas tumagal ang inyong relationship. Under HPO, tingnan natin. It has an epithelia. Anong type ng epithelia yan? That is a columnar epithelia. Okay, each of the lobes, each of the folds is actually lined by that columnar epithelia. In some areas, it appears as pseudostratified columnar epithelia. Now, tingnan natin yung mismong mga lobes ng bursa Fabricius. Okay, may makikita tayong mga lobules. Pwede natin din siyang tawagin as follicles. Ito, mas kitang-kita ang follicles na to. So, those are the follicles of the bursa of Fabricius. Now, just like other lymphoid tissue, it should appear pale sa kanyang center and darker sa kanyang mantle or coronal area. Pero dahil, again, hindi nag-take out ng stain ng hematoxylin, hindi natin siya ma-appreciate. Pero structurally, nakikita ko, na-appreciate ko na, and hopefully ma-appreciate nyo, mas dense ang cells na makikita sa periphery versus that of the germinal centers, kagaya ng other lymphoid tissues. Okay? So this is the bursa of Fabricius. Okay? So hopefully makita niyo siya sa laboratory natin. If you have questions, I'm just there. Ask me. See ya!